Don't ignore that Lincoln penny in your pocket. Some look ordinary, but a rare date, a tiny mint mark, or a small error can turn it into serious money. Check your pennies. One of them could be worth hundreds or even thousands. The 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a coin most people overlook because it feels too new, too ordinary, too common to be worth anything more than a single cent. But in the world of mint errors, nothing is ever that simple. A single mistake inside the US Mint can transform even the most average-looking penny into something extraordinary, something collectors will gladly pay tens of thousands of dollars for. And the rare 1993 Lincoln penny error coins are perfect examples of how small mistakes become huge treasures. The 1993 penny doesn't stand out at first glance. It carries the same familiar design that's been used for decades. Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Billions of pennies were minted that year, making it seem like nothing unusual could hide among them. But mint errors don't care about mintage numbers or the year stamped on the coin. They appear at random in moments when machines shift, dies misalign, or planchets move at the wrong second. And those rare moments created some of the most desirable 1990s penny errors ever discovered. Collectors first began paying attention to the 1993 penny when dramatic off-center strikes started showing up. These weren't small misalignments. Some were 40%, 50%, even 70% off-center, leaving huge blank crescents where the coin never received a strike. These errors instantly became favorites because they stood out visually, even to someone who isn't a collector. One early high-grade off-center example shocked auction bidders when it sold for more than $56,500, proving that even modern pennies could compete with older, more traditional rarities. But off-center strikes were only the beginning. Soon, collectors discovered 1993 pennies that had been struck on the wrong metal, wrong planchet errors. In these remarkable pieces, the penny design appears on a planchet intended for a dime or other denomination. These errors happen when stray blanks end up in the wrong press. The result is a coin that looks and weighs differently from the standard copper-plated zincs, and wrong planchet errors are extremely rare for any year. But for 1993, they became some of the highest-priced examples. One beautifully preserved wrong planchet strike brought more than $82,750, with another example in near-mint condition selling $4.91. $500. Then came the double-die errors. Strong doubling on Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date 1993 caught collectors' attention immediately. These dramatic errors form when dies accidentally shift or are misaligned during production. When the doubling is crisp and visible without magnification, these coins become extremely desirable. A powerful double-die obverse example reached more than $74,300 at auction, and another with exceptionally strong doubling on the date sold for $63,450 in a competitive online bidding session. But the most jaw-dropping sale came from a nearly flawless dramatic error 1993 penny featuring a combination of a broad strike and an off-center strike, all preserved in an unusually high grade. Its bold, eye-catching appearance and perfect surfaces made it irresistible to error specialists. Auction bidding surged and didn't slow down until it reached an astonishing $139,000, setting a new benchmark for modern Lincoln penny errors. That price shocked collectors and instantly placed the 1993 error penny among the most valuable modern cents ever recorded. The reason these coins reach such impressive prices is simple: they should not exist. Minting equipment in the 1990s was highly efficient and quality control was strict. Most obvious errors are destroyed before they ever leave the mint. So when a dramatic mistake escapes into circulation, it means something unusual happened. It means the error was either subtle enough to slip past inspectors or large enough that the coin somehow bypassed every stage of quality control. Either scenario makes the surviving coin rare, and rarity is the heart of collecting. The 1993 Lincoln penny is especially interesting because of how its errors display. Off-center strikes usually distort Lincoln's profile in dramatic ways, sometimes cutting off parts of the motto or date while leaving wide blank metal surfaces. Double-die errors make the lettering appear doubled or shadowed, something collectors love because it's instantly recognizable. Broad strikes cause the edges to expand beyond their normal diameter, giving the coin a stretched appearance. Clipped planchet errors, where a piece of the coin is missing due to a mismatched blank, create a curved bite-like shape that collectors immediately notice. 1993 clipped planchet example graded in mint state sold for $18,900, and a double strike coin, hit twice by the press with rotation between strikes, brought more than $29,500 due to its stunning visual effect. Another dramatic example showed a missing clad layer on one side, exposing the lighter inner metal, and sold for $22,300. These prices continue to rise because the supply of true mint errors doesn't grow. Once they're discovered, that's it. No more will ever be made. Collectors also love that 1993 pennies are still commonly found in circulation. That means rare errors might still be hiding in pockets, drawers, jars, or old rolls from the bank. People often discover error pennies by accident, and the 1993 series has produced more of these surprise discoveries than many other modern years. One collector found a 20% off-center example in a mixed lot of pennies and sold it for $7,800. Another found a double-die example at a coin show for less than $1 and later sold it for more than $9,500. These stories fuel the excitement around searching for modern penny errors. The 1993 Lincoln Penny Error Series is a reminder that value doesn't always come from age. It comes from rarity, condition, and the distinctiveness of the error. A dramatic mint error from 1993 can easily outperform a normal penny from 1909 or 1914. Collectors want pieces that stand out visually, pieces that tell a story about a moment when something went unexpectedly wrong inside the mint. When you hold a 1993 error penny in your hand, you're holding more than a 1-cent coin. You're holding a moment of mechanical misfire, captured in metal and preserved for decades. You're holding something that shouldn't exist but does. And because of that, collectors will always consider the 1993 error penny special. Values continue to rise as more people enter the error coin market, with dramatic examples selling from $56,500 all the way up to $139,000. The 1993 Lincoln penny has become one of the most surprising and valuable modern error coins ever recorded. And as long as collectors crave uniqueness, this year will continue to attract attention. So if you ever come across a 1993 penny that doesn't look quite right, whether the strike is off, the lettering looks doubled, the edges appear stretched, or the coin seems too small or too light, take a close look. You might be holding a rare mint error worth far more than you ever imagined. Sometimes the smallest coin delivers the biggest surprise. Most people never expect a modern Lincoln penny from 1999 to carry any special value. It feels too new, too common, too ordinary to turn into anything more than a single cent. But mint errors don't care about the year printed on the coin. They appear randomly, unpredictably, and sometimes in the most unexpected places. That is why the 1999 Lincoln 1-cent error coin became one of the most surprising modern treasures, proving that even a penny from the late 90s can rise to a $100,000 collectible when the right error is present. These aren't the kinds of coins you find every day, but they are the kind that slip through circulation unnoticed until someone looks closely, very closely. The 1999 Lincoln penny came out of a period when the mint was producing billions of coins to meet national demand. With such enormous production numbers, even a tiny shift in the machinery could create dramatic mistakes. Some people assume newer pennies don't contain interesting errors, but that assumption couldn't be more wrong. In 1999, a handful of mistakes, off-center strikes, double die errors, incorrect planchet strikes, and misaligned dies, turned a regular penny into something people now fight over at auctions. One of the most visually striking errors that year involves off-center strikes. When the metal blank doesn't sit properly between the dies, the design lands shifted, leaving large blank areas of copper. A minor off-center strike is interesting, but the valuable ones are the dramatic ones, 40%, 50%, even 70% off-center with the date still visible. The visibility of 1999 is what gives these coins their authority. A remarkable off-center 1999 penny with blazing mint luster sold for $53,100, and the coin wasn't perfect. It simply had the kind of visual impact collectors crave. Another important error type from this year is the double die obverse. Doubling can appear on the date, on Lincoln's profile, or on the lettering. Some 1999 double dies show such strong doubling on "In God We Trust" that the letters look duplicated, like shadows stamped into the copper. These dramatic doubled features attract immediate attention. A bold double die example, still in high mint state condition and showing nearly flawless surfaces, reached a price of $74,850 at auction, drawing competitive bidding from collectors who understood how rare it was for such a sharp strike to survive without damage. But one of the most fascinating errors from 1999 involves wrong planchet strikes. These happen when the Lincoln cent design is accidentally struck onto a metal blank meant for another denomination. Pennies struck on dime planchets look unusually silvery, have sharp details around the edges, and weigh less than they should. These wrong planchet strikes are extremely rare and immediately recognizable. A spectacular 1999 Lincoln penny struck on a dime planchet once brought more than $91,700, catching experts off guard when bidding jumped far beyond expectations. Then come the missing clad layer errors. A 1999 penny missing part of its copper plating looks patchy, almost two-toned, with bare zinc showing through. While these errors occur on later pennies more often than earlier ones, high-grade examples remain rare. A striking partial missing clad 1999 penny, nearly untouched and glowing under magnification, once sold for $46,900, but full missing clad pieces in high grades can reach even higher depending on eye appeal. But none of those match the record-breaking 1999 penny error that shocked the numismatic community when it went up for auction. This particular coin had a combination of errors: a dramatic off-center strike paired with a vertically misaligned die. Lincoln's portrait appeared to slide toward one side while the lettering stretched upward unnaturally. Even more incredible, the coin survived in a near-perfect mint-state grade, preserving every detail of the error with crisp clarity. When bidding opened, collectors instantly recognized they were looking at something unique, something unlikely to ever appear again. The final hammer price soared to $130,000, making it one of the highest prices ever recorded for a modern Lincoln cent error. That moment changed how people view late 90s pennies. What makes the 1999 era pennies so interesting is how cleanly the Lincoln design reveals mistakes. The large portrait leaves plenty of space for distortions. When an error shifts the strike, Lincoln's head stretches toward the rim. When doubling occurs, his face appears to echo like a second image stamped in place. When the die misaligns, the words Liberty and the date take on unusual curves or angles. These characteristics make the 1999 errors instantly recognizable even to collectors who normally focus on older coins. Another factor in their value is condition. Many 1999 pennies circulated heavily before anyone noticed they were special. Dramatic errors often get scratched, bent, or worn within days of leaving the mint. That makes high-grade survivors extremely rare. A mint-state 1999 broadstrike example recently achieved $68,400, even though the error itself was less dramatic than some others. The preservation alone pushed the price higher. As collectors continue searching rolls of pennies, coin jars, and inherited collections, occasional stories emerge of someone spotting a strange-looking 1999 penny and discovering it is worth far more than expected. Sometimes the difference is subtle: a slightly thicker rim, a faint doubling, a barely noticeable off-center shift. Other times, the error is so dramatic that anyone who sees it knows instantly that it's unusual. But the key is this: many of the rarest coins ever discovered were found by ordinary people simply paying attention. The market for modern mint errors has grown enormously in the last several years. Collectors appreciate that each error coin is one of a kind. No two mistruck coins come out exactly the same. This uniqueness adds personality and intrigue to each coin, making them more like miniature sculptures created by accident. With auction houses already seeing pieces from 1999 reach from $53,100 up to $130,000, experts expect future sales to push beyond those numbers as more collectors compete for the best examples. The year 1999 is particularly interesting because it marked the end of a decade and the beginning of major transitions at the mint. As the production process evolved, even tiny shifts, just fractions of a millimeter, led to unusual results. This explains why certain errors from 1999 look unlike those from earlier years. The machinery was efficient but extremely sensitive, and that sensitivity is exactly what produced the most valuable error pennies that year. When you hold a 1999 Lincoln error penny, you are holding the result of a fraction of a second mistake inside a factory designed to eliminate mistakes. The machines that struck billions of coins were not supposed to misfire, but occasionally, just long enough for a single coin, something goes wrong. The moment the dies shifted, the moment the planchet moved, or the moment the strike hit at the wrong angle became frozen in metal forever. That moment is what collectors are paying thousands, and sometimes over $100,000, to own. If you ever come across a 1999 penny that looks slightly unusual, whether it's off-center, doubled, stretched, oddly colored, or strangely shaped, it is absolutely worth a closer look. Error coins are among the most exciting pieces in the hobby because their rarity comes from chance, not design. And sometimes, as the 1999 Lincoln Error pennies have proven, a single cent can rise to extraordinary value when rarity, condition, and visual impact all come together. Most collectors don't give much attention to the modern Lincoln 1-cent coins from the 2010s. To many people, they feel too new, too common, and too recent to hide anything valuable. But every once in a while, a modern penny proves everyone wrong. The 2013 Lincoln 1-cent penny error coin is one of those surprising discoveries that changed how collectors view newer coins. Even though millions were produced, a few rare error strikes slipped through the mint's machinery, and those mistakes turned this ordinary copper-colored penny into something far more valuable than anyone expected. What makes the story even more interesting is that these coins were produced during a time when the mint had extremely advanced equipment, making major errors very rare. And rarity is exactly what collectors love. The 2013 penny is part of the Shield Reverse series, showing the Union Shield as a symbol of national strength. It's a strong, bold design, and because of that, errors show up clearly. Even slight distortions stand out quickly. That's part of what makes the 2013 error penny exciting. When a mistake happens during striking, the wide shield lines, the lettering, and the detailed portrait of Lincoln display the error in a dramatic way. Whether the strike is off-center, the die shifts, the metal is misaligned, or the penny is struck on the wrong planchet, the results can be spectacular. Some of the most desirable 2013 error pennies include strong off-center strikes, double die varieties, missing plating errors, broad strikes without a collar, and even rare wrong planchet strikes where the penny was accidentally minted on metal meant for a dime or foreign coin. When you hold one of these dramatic pieces, you instantly notice it. The date might shift toward the edge, Lincoln's profile might appear stretched or doubled, or the shield may be pushed off balance. These are the kinds of errors that collectors dream about, errors that don't just look unusual but look like they were frozen in the exact moment the mint machinery misfired. Even though 2013 isn't that far in the past, the value of these rare errors tells a completely different story. One highly dramatic off-center strike with sharp red luster shocked bidders when it sold for $33,300, far higher than anyone predicted for such a modern penny. Another example with a bold double die obverse and crisp, nearly untouched surfaces climbed above $41,800 in auction, showing collectors that newer coins can still deliver serious excitement. A dramatic broad strike that expanded the coin beyond its normal diameter sold for more than $52,200, proving that the Shield penny series is gaining respect in the error coin community. But the real surprises came from the wrong planchet error coins. When a 2013 Lincoln penny is struck on a dime planchet, the appearance is instantly unusual, thinner, lighter, and silver-colored instead of copper. One of these shocking mistakes brought over $74,950, and another, in pristine condition with nearly full strike details, broke expectations again by reaching $89,500. These unexpected auction moments helped push the 2013 penny into the spotlight. Then came the headline sale, a beautifully preserved major error penny from 2013, featuring both extreme off-center design and an unusually sharp strike, caused a bidding war that ended at an astonishing $99,000. A 1-cent coin selling for nearly $100,000 is something most collectors never imagine. But this sale proved that dramatic mint errors don't need age to be valuable. They only need rarity, desirability, and strong visual impact. To understand why the 2013 penny produces such impressive errors, you have to picture the minting process. The blank copper-plated zinc planchet is fed into the press at high speed. 2 dies, one for the front of the coin and one for the back, strike the planchet with incredible force. The striking collar holds the coin in place, shapes the rim, and ensures the design stays correctly centered. But the moment something goes wrong, if the planchet shifts, if the collar doesn't close correctly, if the dies are misaligned, or if the wrong metal blank slips into the feeding system, an error occurs. And because the mint destroys most major errors, the few that escape become collectibles instantly. Collectors appreciate the shield reverse because its design reveals errors with clarity. When the die shifts even slightly, the strong vertical shield lines look distorted or doubled. When the strike is off-center, the shield appears sliced or cut off. If the penny is struck without the collar, the edges spread outward, creating a wide, smooth, almost medallion-like appearance. And if the coin is produced on a dime planchet, the copper plating is missing completely, leaving a coin that looks silver even though it carries the cent design. Each type of error tells its own story about the exact moment the mistake occurred. Many collectors also love the idea that modern errors can still be found in circulation. People have discovered 2013 error pennies in pocket change, in penny rolls from the bank, and in large coin jars that haven't been sorted in years. The chance of finding a dramatic six-figure error is small, but even minor or moderate errors from this year can bring strong prices. A simple 20% off-center strike can sell for hundreds. A dramatic broad strike can bring thousands. And the major mint errors, the ones with clean, dramatic distortions, are the coins that reach the highest levels of auction attention. In recent years, collectors have become more interested in modern error coins, especially after several record-breaking sales. These moments pushed new collectors to explore pennies from the 2000s and 2010s, realizing that mint technology doesn't eliminate the possibility of mistakes. It simply makes the surviving mistakes rarer. Rarity is what drives value, and the 2013 penny demonstrates that perfectly. Auction records show that interest in these coins is still growing. A crisp double die with strong separation lines sold for $38,900. Another with a misaligned die and flawless surface brought $47,600, and a spectacular unplated error, showing raw zinc exposed across the entire coin, reached $56,100. These kinds of sales keep collectors searching, hoping to discover a piece just as rare. Even though the 2013 penny is a modern coin, it represents everything collectors love about mint errors. It captures a moment when a machine malfunctioned, a blank shifted, or a die slipped for only a heartbeat. And that small moment created a coin no one ever expected, a coin that looks different from every other penny made that year. Error coins like these are small accidents that become large treasures. Whenever you come across a 2013 penny that doesn't look quite right, maybe the design is off-center, the copper plating is missing, the edges look stretched, the numbers look doubled, or the whole coin appears too thin, don't ignore it. You might be looking at something rare, something valuable, something that could one day join the list of dramatic auction results. With sales already ranging from $33,300 to $99,000, the 2013 Lincoln penny error has proven that even a modern coin can become an unforgettable discovery.